We need to up our game and shit. We need to do comedy butt naked, right?
His goodbyes. He blew his eye socket off and his eyeball fell out.
White women keep kidnapping us. Y'all seen The Blind Side?
Aren't you glad we have that disclaimer at the beginning of the episode?
It's going to come in handy for this episode.
This week's episode of The Voice Party is brought to you by Big Boy Wraps. Get your car wrapped by some of the most experienced and skilled in the Bay. Big Boy Wraps, where the big boys play.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to The Voice Party. We got JD right next to me. We got Corday.
What up, yo?
We got Phil on the board. What's up?
I'd be better if my camera wasn't
In his chanclas.
No, that's true.
With his suntan.
And we got Joaquin as our guest today.
Hey, hey. Woo!
Black Joaquin.
So we don't have a guest today, an official guest today.
Yeah.
Well, Joaquin's our official guest today.
He's excited about this, bro. Don't say that.
Oh, sorry. Forgot he's here to promote.
What are you here to promote, bro?
His
Summer vacation.
His summer vacation.
How's your summer vacation going, Joaquin?
Well, summer vacation is not really a vacation. I'm working for the expanded learning program.
You just ruined it. Fuck. No, I'm
Fuck, dude. You're supposed to say I wore flip-flops the entire day the other day.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
No, let him talk. Let him talk, because that's what happens
everything.
sometimes. So you'd be like, summer vacation. I'm not going to work. And you're like, fuck, I'm not working. I have no money.
But you guys are teachers, so you guys don't really get summer vacation. You get summer school.
We don't.
Unless you opt out of summer school, right?
No,
you have to
there's
opt in.
It's not mandatory to take summer school per se, but if you want to, continue paying your bills, like you gotta.
Yeah. I got an interview for a Boys and Girls Club that ends August 4th, so I can be paying my bills.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's right.
That's what you need.
The other alternative is that you can have them garnish some of your wages. So,
Right.
like, when summer hits, that's all you. I fuck that.
Yeah.
So,
I was gonna say they split up your checks so you get paid throughout the year rather than.
Which is
an option.
Am I tripping, or was there a teacher strike recently?
Yep. Oakland Unified School District.
Oakland, right?
Yep. That's like second or third time, and it's crazy to see that it happened after the pandemic when you realize how much you needed teachers.
Yeah.
And they had to strike again.
What were they striking for?
They
Just
said
pay?
Better salaries and wages.
They said we have the power.
Yeah.
Well, because teachers don't get paid shit right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like the lowest paying profession you can have.
Also, it's funny too.
And it's like a mandate, and like people, they're like society's promoting school so hard.
So hard.
Better, more than ever.
And it's like, can you believe they're teaching this in school? And I'm like, we ain't teaching nothing because most of us are going on strike because we don't get paid enough,
Do you follow board teachers on social media?
I think I used to.
BORED?
Yeah, they're hilarious, man.
At this restaurant, BORED. Okay. Board.
Like there's a lady who had quit her teaching job. Now she's doing stand-up comedy off of the board teachers.
Hilarious.
That's funny.
It's because it was too much one day.
I was working installing alarms with a guy who was a elementary school teacher. He's like, "Fuck this shit. I got kids to feed."
Because teaching is hard as hell and stuff like that. And then a lot of people found that out during the pandemic when they had to help us, or not help us, but they had to work with us just so we can keep class going throughout the day and stuff like that. And most of the time, that's why I make a joke about. I'm trying to work more on teacher jokes, but it's like parents didn't realize how bad their kid was until the pandemic, and they had to be around their kid all the time. Right. And then it was like, oh my god, this kid, you're picking on my kid, and no,
your kid sucks.
Your kid is bad, So especially because you have to, or sometimes kids be hocked up on candy, and it's like go to school, and
parents do that, bro.
Yeah.
You're someone else's problem.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's any teachers that preferred the Zoom way. Did you like it more?
Yeah, dude. So shorter days. We started at 9, ended at 2. No commute, so I didn't have to be in traffic and shit like that. And then longer lunches, and then it was it was different in a standpoint of all right, I don't have to go anywhere, so I don't have to get up and start lesson planning at 7 a.m. And then also have to be there by this certain amount of time. I have more time to do this kind of stuff. Shorter days because I work for a charter, so school started at 9. We got out at 4, versus during COVID because we can't have kids on online so long. school started at 9, ended at 2, and then sometimes we did this thing called SIPs, where it's like helping kids like read, so they ate at 3 or 2:45. But that was like still shorter day than like getting up, driving to work, being in traffic, then the commute home and stuff like that. You were still like mentally fatigued because you're like online the whole time. But then it was like different. You could like plan stuff more around it and things like that. Like you wasn't going a lot of places, but it was also like when things started to open up, it was kind of easier because it was just different, It
sucked for the kids too, though.
No, it definitely sucked for
my niece had like she always had good grades.
Yeah.
And I think this was 7th grade when it hit. All Fs.
No, yeah, so that was the other bad thing about it. Like
Straight,
Zoom,
not all, but straight like a lot of Fs.
A lot of social anxiety, a lot of having to stay in. Like you can't, like a lot of kids missing their friends and stuff like that.
You go crazy.
Yeah, so you're going like, so I was going crazy too. Like, because I remember, because it was like I'm not on
The Shining, bro. The Shining.
Because it was like, oh, you're in your. Like it went from like I'm in my house all day to I'm just in my room all day. Like so I'm like a prisoner in my own house / room.
Not everyone's built for that shit.
Nah, I wasn't. I'm an extrovert. I like to be outside. I'm ready to just walk outside and just stand. My mom was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, just getting fresh air. I just want to see somebody walk past. Like kind of just like. And then every time I was like, I felt I was about to go crazy. It was because I realized I hadn't walked outside in 2 days. I hadn't just like walked around. So then I started walking in my neighborhood, and it'll be like me and like old people, and then like after that, and then so it was just like it just be like everybody else started walking outside. I feel like it was a trend that we kind of started.
You think about it, like how many people just went on drives?
Yeah.
Like
stupid ass drives.
Me and my ex just would go take the back roads of Concord and just drive for like hours and see like how far we could go.
Behind Pinole Valley Road.
Yeah.
All the way up to.
And then you would like keep going, just keep going, right? And we were like,
I would go pass by just to see that fucking emu they have in that farm. You know what I'm talking about?
JBL farm. That's where I almost got a job. Yeah.
Stupid shit just to see an emu.
No,
bro.
but like, yeah. I like remember that like the only time like I needed gas money was because, or the only reason I needed to go to the gas station was because I kept taking drives because I needed to get out of the house. Yeah. I was getting like, I was going crazy. Something we were driving after the podcast last time, and you had told me something that blew my freaking mind. You said that kids don't really have homework now.
No.
Now, I want to talk about this.
That's bullshit.
No, okay. Here's the thing. As much as like, this is kind of like that student debt relief argument thing, right? It was like, we didn't have it, so like, blah, blah, blah. Like, wouldn't you wish you had that, right? So like, and we're trying to make things better for these kids. You go through 8 hours a day of school, right? And like, I hate it when my parents are like, oh, try working. My job is not nearly as stressful as fucking
school,
how I used to be in school. And because you do 8 hours of school, and then you would go home, and some of these kids, you heard stories for years. I was up till 10 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning doing a paper.
Nerd.
No, but if you were me, you probably wouldn't, because I didn't do shit. You know. But like kids that actually tried, like you were up all fucking day. Yeah, and you're not getting paid for this shit. And like, and like I get it. Like we're paying to get an education, but like that's a lot of fucking work for kids, because we're legally mandated to go to school for at least a certain
16.
16 something. Yeah.
16. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, you're like. The adults that were telling us that, oh, try working a real job, blah, blah, no, fuck you guys. That shit was hard.
I never had a real job where I had to like run a mile and then try and do long division right afterwards.
Not yet. Yeah.
That's true.
Okay, but like,
like
you have a pretty cool job, right? Like what you get to do.
I do.
Like you get to play with cameras all day.
You could argue that there's some math, there's some geometry in the camera angle setup.
Sure, but like
there is geometry because you have to do the angles to.
But like at least you're going.
Kind of like you have to line things.
What's the width for the cameras? What is it?
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
The lens. The lens. What is it?
Well, they're all different.
Yeah,
like 1080p HD.
No.
Well, I'm throwing numbers out there.
Yeah, I'm just trying to use it as an example.
Yeah,
no, but like, you know what I mean? Like for jobs, like if we do music, we're doing comedy or something, it's tiring.
Yeah.
But we're doing what we like to do.
Yeah.
If you're in 7th grade, you're forced to fucking be there.
Yeah.
Other countries have been experimenting with the whole no homework policy as well. However, I would say that in the district where I work, it's a little bit, I would suggest that it's a little bit different as to why there's like not a whole lot of homework assigned. So over in, I think it was either Denmark or Sweden, they determined with math in particular that like they're doing some psychological studies. When you're in elementary school and you're learning how to do a specific kind of problem, or any grade really, and you're introduced to that new thing. Here's a polynomial. This is the first kind of you do it about maybe 10 times after you get it after about the 5th or 7th time or whatever it is. If you go home and do 20 of the same problem, which is the traditional math homework, you're doing 20, 30 of this thing, your brain actually does this weird thing where even if you got it in class, you start to second guess. You're like, why am I repeating this? I must not understand it because I'm repeating this. So that actually kind of shoots students in the foot somewhat. Makes it harder than it should be. So that's why they stopped. I will say that like...
we do that as adults too.
100%.
And so that's why they stopped in the more enlightened areas. We're gonna
take shots of our coffee every time Marco says
100%. I years ago I spoke to a former colleague who moved on to a different school and said, well, you know, one of the conversations in the teachers' lounge is we send homework out and it just doesn't come back.
I never I barely did homework, bro. So like it was kind of, and I still graduated. So you know.
Well, you went to Richmond High. So.
That's true.
No,
but I had some strict teachers though.
Well, you're paying for that, so that's why they got your money.
Homework.
I did homework all the time.
You can't use an excuse for the worst.
Y'all was back to back to each other. Somebody was crossing paths, something like that.
It was just a Christian Richmond High or a Catholic Richmond High.
Yeah,
that's all it was. No, but I had some strict teachers that when I some like everyday homework, maybe, you know, like this little thing. It's not that important, but actual projects were like
projects are different.
Projects are definitely different.
I hated projects.
I turned those in. I turned those in.
Well, you didn't have a choice. That was 90. This is 80% of your grade.
Right, and
I didn't do them.
Everybody picks up on things differently. Some people are better with projects, and some people are better with papers.
Testing.
You know, some people are better with testing than others, but it doesn't mean that they don't. And depending on the type of test, like if your woodshop final is to build a thing, and you're a kinetic learner, you're going to be able to build the thing better than like you are going to do a test where it's nothing but essay questions.
Right.
It's just how you pick stuff up. But interestingly enough, most of the work that I deal with in the expanded learning program, so after school in particular, is stuff that the kids didn't finish in class. That's what their homework is basically. You know, for the most part. I think some teachers still do, like the history teacher still gives questions to answer as homework, but it's not every teacher, and it's not every subject has homework.
Right.
But they still end up working outside of class because for whatever reason they didn't finish this module or that module when they were in class the first go around. It was 90 minutes to do it.
Well, I mean, I think about that, and it's a great point of like when as adults, if you, let's say, I'm just going to use this example because it was recent, but like my cousin, he's been working in construction, and he went out to Vegas to take some classes to like get, we have some sound problems, or we're hearing a lot of banging. But they flew him out to Vegas for his job to go take some classes, to, you know, to get a promotion, whatever, right? I don't know the technical terms, but
some training.
But like, he sits in the classroom, watches, you know, does whatever he has to do, and then after the day is done, he gets to just go back to his hotel and eat and do what he needs to, you know, do whatever, relax. Like, I feel like when you're doing something in real life, you're doing it, especially for a job. Yeah. You're doing it for that allotted time. There's no other job. And I'm not saying like people don't take work home and do that, but they're getting paid. Yeah. Right? Like for kids, man, if we're going into a class, you go in there, do your work, and then give them like the rest of the day off. Like it's a lot of fucking work.
There has been this phenomenon, quietly quitting, where people are doing less of the whole taking their work from the office to home. Right? And they're just, because in the old days, you go back to like the 50s, the 60s, you had an office job, your work ended when you
At the
clocked
job.
out.
Yeah,
And then
at the
I want to say some point during the 2000s, people started taking their work home, and even though they've clocked out, because they have a big project that's due. You've seen all the movies. They love those PowerPoint presentations. I got the big presentation coming up.
Right.
But now people are like remembering, like, no, wait. I'm off at 5. I'm not salaried. or whatever.
Right. If you're salary, that's different.
If you're salary, that's different. But I'm not. I'm gonna go home and just cut it off here. My office hours end at 5. I'm done.
Right.
And now it's even it's interesting because more people are working from home, so they have to figure out what the boundaries are, right?
Right.
Like, because it's like if you're on your laptop in your living room, and then you're really into what your job is. Like, that could be your thing. And your wife is like, come to dinner, honey. I have to patch the software issue here, sweet. I'll be just a few more minutes. It's been bugging me. And then before you know it, it's time for bed, right?
That was a funny thing, like working from home. I remember initially, for me, because I was living with my family, the fact that I was at home but I was working took my family a while for them to get used to. Like constantly.
Can you run to the store?
Huh?
Can you run to the store?
Can you run to the store? Or no, it was never run to the store. Like, hey, I got some groceries out here. Can you come? Like, hey, well, like, no, I can't just I'm
teaching right now.
I'm teaching. And they'd be like, hey, like, and they'd be like, or just like constant knocking and stuff like that. And I'm just like, what? Why aren't you? And I'm like, I'm at work. Like, what are you doing? Like, why you keep like disturbing me?
Like, what would you do if I wasn't here?
Do you ever get like kids being like, oh, Mr. Snell, you also live with your parents?
No, they'd be like, who's that? That's my mom. Oh,
it's like, this is why you guys go to school, because if not, you're gonna be living with your parents just like me.
No, because we would still be like on topic or on subject, stuff like that. So it was kind of like, give me 1 second, kids, and it'd be like,
yeah. Mute your mic.
Yeah. So that, and then
if you don't go to school, you're gonna end up quitting comedy for a little bit, go to Santa Barbara, and then live with your parents just like me.
Well, because like sometimes depending on the class, cause I was working with a lot of 4th graders, so they wasn't like thinking like that far ahead.
They weren't comprehending.
Yeah, so it wasn't like they was
yeah.
like, oh, okay. And then funny thing about it, I see like a lot of my students who like will be like talking and stuff will be like right there, and then they just have to like get up and have to go help their parents with the groceries and stuff like that, because their parents didn't get the concept of like, no, I'm in school, I need to be like over here isolated doing this stuff until it's over,
right?
Like, or like, why are you like checking in? Like, oh, because my mom took me to she went to the doctor, I had to go with her, like all that kind of stuff.
Sorry, Mr. Snow, I gotta go wash some dishes. I'll be right back. Like, I heard that was a thing with some kids. Like, it's a funny thing. Mexican kids, like, sorry, I'm late for class today. I had to clean the yard.
Yeah, no, it would be stuff like that. It'd be like, oh, sorry, I had to, or this would be for like older siblings. It'd be like, oh, sorry, I'm late. I had to make sure that my little brother and siblings got online. So they're like 15 to 20 minutes late, and like, oh, I had to make sure they were like, or because you see like one person right here, and then like, who's that? Who keeps bothering? Oh, that's my younger sibling. They're hungry, so I have to go get them something to eat.
Right.
So yeah.
Okay.
It's not lunchtime yet.
Yeah, but
for your younger sibling.
But also does that shows like the kind of dynamic at certain kids' houses too.
Yeah, and that's when you start finding out like a lot about like
this 10-year-old takes care of his brother.
Yeah.
That's why he's maybe tired.
That's why he's tired all the time. That's why he's acting out in class when we were out there, because this dude
has a job.
He's got a job.
No, one of my students literally had to always have the light off and had to have like the carpet on over it. I mean, not the carpet, but like
the drape, the curtain.
Not a curtain. It was the curtain was closed, but it was like his room was always dark. But he had his cover over his head all the time because his mom worked graveyard.
Gotcha.
So she could be with them like during like the day, but she was sleeping. So he would literally have class
under the blanket.
So it was always dark. It's like, why is it dark? And he was like, and then like people came, when you knew over time, it's like, oh, is your mom working? It's like, yeah, she just got back at like class started at 8. She got home at like 8. Or class started at 9. She got home at 8, so she was trying to sleep until like, so she'd be sleeping like most of the day. And then like sometimes he had to like help his like younger sibling who was sitting next to him, like make sure they were like on task.
I was gonna say, what happens if you're sharing a room, right? You find a lot of that stuff.
And they were sharing the rooms, and so you found so it was like a lot of that. But back to the homework stuff, especially I think coming out of it, the pandemic and stuff, you realize that kids are behind, so it doesn't help giving them like more homework to try to catch up, especially if they're not already getting it. Now you're just like bombarding them with more stuff that they don't know. So it's like you don't want students to quit. You want them to still like go forward and stuff. And then, but there are times where you pull kids for like individual groups. So you try to help them get it that way, or like, hey, instead of giving them homework, here's some stuff you can practice with.
Right.
Instead of like okay, just go over like some small, like, okay, you're not good at multiplicating nines, so just like here's some ones to like quick little things and something simple like 3 times 9, 3, like that kind of stuff, instead of like, all right, I'm gonna give you this long multiplication problem, finish it so you can do multiplication. No, we start with something small, and then that's how it's a easier way to build up. And then some kids who are after school, we'll give them stuff, but most of the time we didn't give it because they wouldn't either get done, or some kids just be overwhelmed and then come into class defeated already. So it's a combination of that stuff, and then still realizing that because of COVID, some kids are a year or two behind with kind of stuff, or like a year or two behind maturity wise,
literacy.
Yeah. So it's
socially.
like I got a fifth grader.
Yeah.
I got a fifth grader, really, but they're like third grade still, you know? So yeah.
Well, I was gonna
Mentally, third grade.
I was gonna
Mentally,
say,
third grade,
like you already have students that struggle, like me when I was in school, struggled paying attention in general, super ADD, you know what I mean? Like it was hard to pay attention in class when it was something I was not interested in. So then you put them in front of a computer, especially like with something that you can't explain this to your kid, right? If you're like, Mom, how are you supposed to deal with this? And they're like, we don't know, we're learning this with you.
We've never
been through this, right? And you're kind of seeing that some of these kids are gonna be left behind a little bit because now you can't really get that one-on-one.
You have to be the Ron Clark. Remember the Ron Clark movie? No? Have you seen that movie? Ron Clark story where he has the worst students in his class and he has to like.
Oh, okay.
You never seen that one?
No.
Oh, okay. Sorry.
No, but you know what I mean? You're gonna see kids be left behind. I was gonna say something else.
Sorry.
You distracted.
Thank you, Ron Clark.
Hey, if you guys are teachers, you should watch it. It's a good movie.
I will.
It's about a teacher from like the South that goes to Harlem. And he's got like,
who's in it?
Dude from Friends, what's his name? Chandler. He plays
is
Ron
that the
Clark.
one where I've been seeing TikTok clips? Is that the one where he's like, I'll need the job now?
Yeah.
Like, they're like, no.
They're like, he's the worst students from every class. They piled him on like the like, I forgot, but and then he gets
it's like the remedial class.
Yeah,
kind of.
And he gets them to like excel beyond like expectation. Well, it's the typical story.
Yeah.
White savior coming to Harlem.
I was gonna say, you know what the best teaching movie is?
Yeah, that too.
And Courtney might agree with me. Y'all ever seen The Substitute?
No.
Oh my God.
No.
What is that?
So this dude is like ex-Navy SEAL, ex-military, undercover FBI, something, in this fucking fucked up school in the hood, and he like beats the shit out of all the bad kids. like it's like Dangerous Minds, where like these kids are fucking bad as fuck. He like takes this kid's yo-yo and is playing with it, and then breaks this other kid's bottle while he's drinking in class.
Is it comedy?
No, it's a fucking action movie.
Oh shit!
And then like the bullies try to like jump the teacher like in the bathroom, and he beats the shit out of fucking kids in the bathroom.
Oh, that's why you liked it.
It's great. Like,
Phil, have you seen Lean on Me?
No, I have not seen it.
Are we just naming movies that nobody has ever seen?
This is, I guess, for you two. What's the best teacher movie you've ever seen?
Man.
Stand and Deliver.
So I was thinking of that one like while Marcus was talking.
I love Stand and Deliver.
Stand and Deliver, because that's Stand and Deliver and Lean on Me.
Remember High School High?
Huh? Yeah, I remember High School High. Yeah, I tried to rewatch it. I was like, this shit is this shit is fucking. Yeah.
Okay, I just want. Can I put a preface out there?
Okay.
If we're gonna talk about teacher movies, can we not somehow get into superheroes or gore or horror or paranormal
or
mafia movies?
Yes.
Yes.
This
is always where it leads.
Oh, sorry. Nothing other than Disney music for my fucking friend here. Sorry.
We will refrain from all of the genres.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Y'all will.
No.
JD's mic's just muted this whole episode.
All right, let's talk about Hannah Montana and Adam Levine. Does everyone feel safe?
Let's get back to the best teaching movie.
No, yeah, best teaching was for you guys. Like, what is like an authentic one?
Man, that's hard.
Stand and Deliver.
Really?
That's a great one because like they didn't believe, because there's always no way that these kids can succeed and do this kind of stuff. So it was like a lot of racism in the teaching world and stuff like that, especially like on certain kids, like Chandler goes to the Harlem, that like it's always the white savior and stuff like that. For me, I love Lean on Me. Lil Rel was talking about in this special. It's with Morgan Freeman, where he comes to clean up a school, but he's like super hard on. He's not only hard on the students, but he's hard on the teachers as well and the faculty. So that's why they hate him, and that's why one woman wants to screw him over. Because
is that the movie? Is there a scene in there where the kid's like on the roof or something, and he like
the mafia takes him out?
No. He's, no, don't stop hitting me. Fuck.
You don't like to be touched, Marcos?
No, it's just I'm holding my coffee and he keeps like pushing it.
I'm trying to get no. Lean on Me. I didn't even know that was a teacher movie.
Yeah, that's a teacher movie. Yeah,
Okay.
Did y'all ever see? Was it Freedom Riders?
Yeah.
I saw that one.
I love that one.
It's basically like Dangerous Minds, but if the kids weren't that bad.
Yeah.
No, I know. I thought about that one too. It's when the white chick goes and like talks to the Mexicans in like L.A. Yeah, and favorite part of that movie, it's like a Latina chick. She's just like, I fucking hate white people, and I was like, yes, yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well, no, because she was saying it because she was like because the people. Well, this is like a clip, but she was saying like the people who arrested, like who like I think is like arrested, who beat me up was white. The cops who patrol my neighborhood are white. Like the people who look down upon us are white. And it was like, so for you to come in here and say you guys can do all this kind of stuff, I hate you and I hate people like you because y'all have done all this negative stuff to us. But then over time it takes her, like she comes and she like gains and like
their trust
and stuff like that. But it was like, this is what she's walking into.
Kind of became a "Oh Captain, my Captain" moment. You know what that is?
No.
That's from a classic movie about teaching starring Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Dead Poets Society.
Dead Poets Society. Great movie.
Okay.
Great movie.
I used to fall asleep on a lot of movies growing up, so I probably saw the beginning and then like fell asleep.
It wasn't inner city kids though. It was like a bunch of rich preppy kids.
Oh fuck that.
The rich preppy kids were all like.
But it's a really good movie though.
Was it like Good Will Hunting? That's a great teacher.
It has the same feel.
It kind of has the same feel to it.
Yeah, it's a great movie.
Yeah,
about, like,
it was kind of in the same era of like movies.
Well, so what about you?
Well, definitely Lean on Me. Like I know it. I don't.
You don't lean on me, dude.
I'm trying to think of what that is.
But like Morgan Freeman, coming in and fixing the school from the ground up, shutting the drug dealers out. Look, you don't go here anymore. You're not allowed here on campus.
That's what I was talking about. Like it was like one kid. He was like, "You sold drugs or you're doing something," and then he like asked to come back or something.
Yes.
I saw a clip on TikTok.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah. So that's funny.
I've seen all these movies that you guys talk about. I've only seen clips.
So that's how I used to see like white movies too. It's like something on TikTok. So
Coach Carter.
That's good too. But it's like that's more basketball stuff. But like Lean on Me is like no.
Oh no, I'm getting that mixed up with the Titans.
Yeah. Because Lean on Me, because he's like he has all these people like on stage and stuff like that. They all throwing stuff. They all like flipping them off and stuff like that. And it was like, you got crabs and stuff like that. And all this kind of stuff. He's like, you see all these people up here? All of them haven't came to class, haven't passed a single thing. He was like, "You are all expelled." And then everyone was like, and then the drug dealer was like, "Man, what the fuck, you can, man? Hey, you gonna have to see me?" And like one tries to go and do something to him, and then the guy who asked to come back, he was like, "I ain't got no other options, man." He basically was one of those people who was influenced by the people who he hung out with. He's like, "I can't do nothing else." He's like, "My mom gonna trip me." So then his grades start going up and stuff like that. But literally, Morgan Freeman got in trouble. And they caught him. They recorded him because he was locking the doors, and they was like, "Yo, this is a fire hazard." He was like, "Well, how the hell else am I gonna keep the drug dealers out who bringing crack and stuff like that into our schools and stuff like that? How else am I supposed to actually teach these kids how I'm helping learn if you open up these doors and let anybody run amok in here?" So, and he had like a certain deadline before like to get the grades up, otherwise they're gonna close the school and like dismantle these kids like other places. So.
Classic movie.
HNIC. That's why I first found out what that was.
Ooh, you know what we can finally talk about now too?
What?
The 200th episode.
Oh yeah,
it's out.
Didn't we talk about it?
No, we didn't officially get to talk about it because
it is out.
Right. Now we can talk about how we feel it went.
Yeah.
Because before we were talking about how we thought it was gonna go.
Yeah.
Thanks for the obvious wink.
We thought it was
Did
gonna
you guys
go.
have a good time?
Dude, I had an amazing time.
Wait, let's start. The greatest thing was to start that day, right? I text DJ Rich. I go, "Hey man, what time are you gonna get there?" He goes, "What are you talking about?" What do you mean? What am I talking about? What time are you gonna get to the 200th episode? He goes, "Oh, I'm already booked somewhere." JD didn't tell me, so I called JD. I go, "Did you not book the DJ?" He goes,
He was in the group chat.
He goes, "Oh, I thought he was gonna come."
No, because we did
I
have,
was stressing out that morning.
We asked him, and he was in the group chat, but I guess he forgot.
Thank you, DJ Rich, for taking copious notes of the group chat
all
goings
good.
on.
No, there was a
couldn't have done it without.
There's a lot of stuff in the group
In
chat.
the
that
group
not
chat?
everybody
A lot of
sees.
bullshit.
Yes.
This is true.
It used to be worse. It used to be worse.
It used to be way worse.
That's why we have 2 group chats now.
It's better now. But I think when it
there's 2
comes
group
to
chats?
things like that,
When
Deleted the
you
old one.
book people, we learned that you have to text somebody or
That's the thing.
what I was going to say is when it
personally.
comes to events like that, we should probably create like a calendar invite and send it out to people
Yes.
so it
Yeah.
adds it to like their Google Calendar or whatever.
Yeah.
So that way there's no
Because also
confusion.
DJ Rich was supposed to DJ for that Tommy T show we did, where we had a low turnout. So it was like,
Well, that worked out because
that worked out. Let's not talk about
Rich
that.
talking
Let's not talk about that.
I DJ'd that one and I did a pretty fucking good job. No, I'm
I
sure.
left that fucking thing. I was like, fuck this shit.
No, but the 200 is you had a
The
good
200
time.
though, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
We got
I think,
there.
I think having a crowd, and especially a crowd that was that engaged,
Yeah.
added a lot of energy
Definitely
to it.
did.
Like, we can't do every show like that
Yeah.
because we can't even get a guest to show up every week, let alone an audience.
Yeah.
But for those special occasions, those monumental ones,
Yeah.
I love having a live
Was anyone scared that there was going to be nobody showing up?
No.
No, because the last
I knew there were
one we
No
did-
one, no. Low turnout.
Low turnout.
I was
always
worried about a low
Low
turnout,
turnout's
too.
always a
Possibility.
possibility. But
I
if
mean,
there was
Because
5
it's like,
people, I would have been
we
happy
sold
with
out
it.
of tickets, but what if all those people don't show up?
Yeah. Why people just like
I mean-
buying tickets so people, so yeah.
And then more people showed up.
Then we had seats for.
Yeah.
We actually had seats for. So
Yeah.
Yeah, it was standing room only by then, which I was surprised.
That was a
But
dope
like
ass
you
film.
look at like the clips we posted and how it came out, and it looks so legit.
Yeah.
It looks
all those
really
people
cool.
there, everybody's laughing, everybody's having a good time.
It
Yeah.
was a good ass show, man. It was fucking.
It was a lot of fun.
I told Atu like that was. I was like, Atu, that's some of the funniest shit I've ever seen from you. You need to bring that on stage, dude. The white women who have tinted windows
Bro.
are racist because
They don't want people seeing them with their black boyfriends. So good.
I don't know where he was going, and I was like, oh my god. He was
that's
like,
not even a bit of his.
That's not.
No, it's not.
Yeah, that's
I was like, dude. I was like, you
He
need
must
to.
have been trying out new material like that he wrote
The
sometime. Or
greatest,
it could
can I
have
tell
been
you,
freestyle.
my
I don't know.
brother's favorite thing was when Corday gave me the layup for the what's it called? He goes,
The
"Hey,
blind
Marco,
side. The blind side.
what do you say?" I go, "He never had a bed
I was
before."
like, he's like, yeah, you get your own bed. I was like, what did he say, Marcos?
I ain't never had a bed before. That's my brother's favorite fucking thing that we did.
This shit was hella
He goes,
good.
"You guys planned that?" I go, "No, but I'm so glad that he remembered that because
Yeah.
I was wanting to say that, and
Yeah.
then he set me up for it." It was
Because I remember
perfect.
us talking about it too. So
Clockwork.
that's
Yeah.
why I was like, I got to tee it up for him. But yeah, it's like a slam dunk.
Yeah,
that shit was.
it was so good.
It was like a little brother moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Next time we got to find a bigger couch. That was the only thing I just
Yeah.
kept noticing.
Oh, that was.
Yeah, well, I made that joke that was it Marcos looked like Jim Carrey and me, myself, and Irene.
So
that's true,
good.
that's true.
So good.
And
What's his name said that
One
I
of my
look like his
favorite movies,
grandma's couch. Is
Brian.
I was stressed.
who's the first? Sorry.
Arturo right
Arturo,
Yeah.
Arturo, yeah.
So that looked like his grandma's.
Shout out to him because he
couch.
came on a last minute notice.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
did. He pulled
Yeah.
up. I was like, oh shit.
Look at that. If people even bail on us on our live shows.
For good reason though.
That's true.
For good reason. But yeah, I'm honestly I had nothing to do with that episode. That was all you guys. 'cause
Yeah, yeah.
I was running hella late from work that day, and I was still nervous because I might have had to go back to work. So
showed up like 15 minutes before showtime. Like, so what's the plan?
Yeah, he was like, he came
Didn't
in
come to the
stressing.
meeting.
Yeah.
didn't come to the meeting.
Yeah.
It's like, am I even a part of this?
Yeah. That shit was
Okay,
funny.
so I
as hell.
felt.
He
But
came in
this taught us
stressing.
a lot, right?
Yeah.
I think this second go around
Well,
taught us
yeah, I was gonna say
more.
we learned a lot from the 100th because I think with the 100th we like bit off more than we could chew because we're like
It was a mess.
We're gonna have a musical performance and we're gonna have a warm-up comic and we're gonna have
Right.
guests, and it ended up being like a 3-hour episode.
Y'all try to do it like a late night show or something like that?
Yeah.
I tried to.
That was the goal.
Okay.
We totally did, and then like. We wanted the guests to just have 15 minutes, but they just kept going.
Yeah.
And JD would try to wrap them up, and they'd be like, "No, no, no, no,
Habitual light runners, all on the show.
Tammy T was.
So all the guests did like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And that's how we ended up with a 3-hour.
I kept telling Damien, like, all right, man, thank you for coming out. I think I told him that like 5 times. All right, bro, thank you for coming out. Thank you.
But okay, it wasn't like just one person. It was every single person. Like, so, but I mean, it was a really good show.
The next comic got to text. They got to top the next comic. Like, well, shoot,
But I
he
was-
getting 30. I'm getting a feature set. Then I'm
Yeah.
headlining this.
I'm
I'm headlining this podcast.
Well, I think the other thing too, when we did the 100, when we did the 100, the group of co-hosts that we had, I was very new. Like, I just joined on.
His chest hair was out.
My chest hair was out, yeah. And now I shave. I shave my chest. But, like, I was brand new. The other 2 co-hosts, like, were still kind of new too.
Everyone was new.
Yeah.
We were new.
So like, we hadn't like gelled perfectly yet. And I was telling him that I think when I was watching that, when I watched the episode come out, I was like, wow, this is like from those episodes that I was watching.
It was a mess.
To this one was crazy, like a crazy different performance.
Yeah. Well,
we actually look like.
Yeah, we've been doing this for 4 years now. We've all gelled
been
together. We've hit our stride.
Yeah.
Like you guys probably saw, I did that montage of like the evolution of the Voice Party to celebrate 200 episodes.
Yeah.
I took clips from our first 199 episodes and made the little montage.
I was like, I'm not in a lot of these.
Oh yeah, me too. It's all good.
But you can see like how the show has evolved and progressed, and how we've got better, how the
Right.
production values got better.
Started promoting our merch.
Finally started promoting the merch we had.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think that shows. It shows a lot, like even how we talk better, how we interact with each other, knowing like, not saying that a lot of this is like planned or anything, but like we know how to feed off each other.
Yeah.
And that really helps. Like when I'm watching, because I'll watch my stuff and I'll realize halfway through sometimes I'm like, I don't want to watch this anymore. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, I didn't do a great job on that, but it's already out. 100 people watched it, whatever.
Like me in that Felipe interview.
Can I? I'm like, just go with him, dude.
I told him, could we take it down and then just re-edit it real quick and then post it? There's 8.
That's going to be a lot of jump cuts. It's going to be a lot of jump cuts.
That doesn't matter.
I think just leave it as is because that's authentic. That's how
We lost his battle, bro. We lost his battle, bro.
I'm telling you, I
lost
clicked
that
out of
battle.
it, and then I remembered that this is something I'm a part of, so I had to go back and watch it. And I was like,
just
JD.
say it was
Being
Corday for me.
starstruck can be charming.
Yeah, it was like
It's
me.
relatable.
It was like
God.
you when Mr. Porter was here, bro.
I didn't stutter that much.
the
on
energy.
day
With the
502.
energy,
Hey, wait. Let me
I
answer.
fangirled. I didn't
Literally,
stutter.
anytime someone would try to ask him something else, you're like, that's not a music question. Stop.
Yeah. You fanboy.
You
out.
fan-
We're
Bro.
talking about comparison of the energy you had, not the stuttering.
Yeah.
It's not
No,
always
I
gonna be
know
perfect.
that's what I'm talking about. The stuttering, like we could have
It's
cut
not always,
some of that out.
It's not always perfect, man. Which it's also like. I mean, I was thinking about that too, but it's also like, you know what, dude? It's gonna be a lot of work.
Yeah. Plus,
It's a 3-minute clip.
I like that it's authentic.
Oh, no,
like
I'm
I
talking
like
about the
being
whole thing.
genuine.
Oh, I'm talking about
I
the
like-
clip.
I like being authentic. You know.
Yeah, you faker.
You guys know I'm not a fan of like censorship and political correctness.
How the fuck did this turn political?
Oh.
What the fuck, Phil?
I'm using
How the
that
hell
to-
does this turn
just made
into?
it political.
I'm using that to say I appreciate the genuineness because it's honest and it's truthful, and that's what I'm all about.
Something about crime. If you say something about crime right now,
I mean,
and how
literally-
police aren't tough on crime,
You literally
I'm gonna
just
flip
see-
this table
You
over.
literally just see how much of a fan JD is of Felipe Esparza, and then not only on top of that, you see how nervous JD gets because JD shared with me at shows and stuff like that. But when he was getting back into comedy, he's like, "Hey man, how you doing?" He's like, "I just want to say, hey, man, I love you, man." And I'm just like, "Dude, are you drunk?"
I was
Because you be like, he gets hella sweaty, you know, like most big dudes do. But they like JD gets hella sweaty, hella nervous. He's just like, yeah. Like,
It's excitement too, though. It's excitement.
He does. I'm like, just
It was the first time.
Yeah.
My first weekend ever doing Copper Spoon. Corday was hosting, and I had like the drink tickets. I was like, Corday, I just want to tell you that I love doing comedy with you, bro. I missed doing comedy with you, and I loved you, bro. Like he died and shit. I always loved you.
I literally thought that. I was like, are you about to kill me? Like, what's going on? I was like, what the hell is all this, JD? And I'm just like, JD, are you nervous? Yeah, dude, I'm fucking nervous as hell. I was like, okay, dude, just calm down. Like, go have a drink. I've already been drinking. All right, okay. Well, go outside and take a smoke break or like get some air. Like, dude, calm the fuck down. Because I'm in my head like going over my last few jokes. I'm just like, oh, this is awkward.
There is a funny part of the clip though, of the Sugar Tits clip with Felipe.
Oh yeah, that's dope.
If you guys haven't seen it, go watch it real quick. Where like the girls call Felipe over in the middle of our interview, and he like gets their attention. So then he starts walking over, and I'm following right behind him because I'm trying to get all the footage and stuff like that. And you just hear JD go, Can I film
I
this?
think more than anything, like, is it okay if I get these girls on camera? Because it was a moment.
No.
It was a moment that like
it was good.
Yeah, but I was hella like.
I just got that so clearly on the camera.
that was so organic.
That moment
It
is
was.
gold.
Saying it like in the microphone too.
Because then you heard him saying, "It's Sugar Tits, remember me?" And I remember because JD told me, he was like, "Oh, dude, it was this one chick named Sugar Tits,"
yeah.
And I was like, "Well, I'm never gonna see who that person is and never get to meet." And then literally the clip drops the next day, and I was like, "Oh."
But I did ask them for permission to put them on the
The only thing that frustrated me, and you guys don't care, but Corday will probably care, is Felipe was in the middle of talking about how he was almost in Blue Beetle, and then they interrupted him, and then he never finished his Blue Beetle story.
Oh, I think
I would have loved to have heard the rest.
No. I think like I don't think he could talk.
He
too much
couldn't
about
talk about it. Yeah,
I think we talked about that after.
Yeah.
There's some things we couldn't really
Maybe
and
after
I also
the
didn't
movie
want
comes out.
to. Also didn't want to like because I don't even think the movie thing had came out at that point.
Yeah, no, I get
because
that.
now he
I
released
get that. It's just as a comic person and just like.
Hey, also, we may be able to get Felipe in here
at some point. Yeah, all we got to do is go viral a few times.
Yeah.
Well, now he's coming to San Jose Improv soon.
I'm not saying anything, but we may be able to have him sitting there with our guests right now. What's
All
up, bro?
things are possible.
Oh shit! Are you guys?
Or maybe see in the green room. Green room's kind of big.
I was gonna say none of this stuff is bolted down. Our setup is literally portable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is true.
Do it in this hotel, green room or something like that. Yeah.
Hotel would be kind of an invasion of space, I think.
I meant like at the hotel you're staying in, not like
or
hotel room.
you can rent.
Like the room,
You can
like
rent
the ballrooms
space.
or something. Why are you giving us the light? He's like, I'm done with this episode. Fuck you.
No, we're almost getting ready for our next guest.
Oh, okay. Short and sweet.
Okay.
Yeah. Any last words from our guests here?
You know what? Come check out the Lucha Libre show in Richmond on August 4th, sponsored by the Go to Work podcast and our podcast as well.
That's right. We're going to have a booth there. So come by, get some free swag, meet the cast at a voice party. It's going to be great.
Oh, we're running the marathon, aren't we? Or the 5K. JD,
my dad wanted to ask you something. If we start a voice party team for the 5K and we all join, my dad can get a bunch of people to join the voice party team. We can make shirts and stuff. Is anybody interested in that?
That's been the voice party. No, I'm down. I don't know if
we'll talk after the show.
We'll talk after the show.
Okay.
But yeah,
we should do that.
If you are a listener and you want to join, I'm pretty sure by the time we finish this episode, you'll create you create it, bro.
Yeah.
He was asking me, but I don't know.
Unhealthy Comedian Part 2.
Exactly, baby.
All right.
I'll be featured in it. Hell yeah. That'll be dope. I'll be featured in Unhealthy Comedian Part 2. And Unhealthy Comedian is now on Amazon Prime. Go and subscribe, all right? Go and purchase it, all right? Give Phil credit. Give JD credit because he's starting his own damn movie and he still hasn't lost any weight. And this is the Voice Party, and we're out.
All right.
All right. Great.